that. Now, tobacco researchers have hit out at film regulators and politicians for failing to give films where characters smoke an 18 certificate. Currently, if someone smokes in a film, it'll be given a certificate of 15. But researchers at the UK Centre for Tobacco Control Studies have found that 15-year-olds were 73% more likely to try a cigarette if they'd watched a film which featured smoking. Health experts say smoking is unnecessary to the plot of a film and glamorises a health hazard to impressionable teenagers. But the Department of Culture, Sports and Media says they will not be looking to recertify films because the current arrangements provide sufficient control on the depiction of smoking. So what do you think? I mean, obviously they're arguing the toss here, Sally. Would banning smoking on the big screen put teenagers off smoking?
Personally, I don't think so. I mean, I started smoking when I was 15. I gave up when I was 25 because it was ridiculous that I smoked. And, you know, I just grew out of it, basically. But, I mean, I've got two fantastic teenage stepchildren. And when they bring their friends round, not one of them smokes. When I was a kid, everybody smoked on the park. They had the cider, bottle of cider, had a bottle of cider, and they had, you know, the 10 whatever cigarettes we bought at the time. And that was what happened. Now it's completely different. If one of their group of mates smokes, it's really unusual. And they go, and it's a big thing, oh yeah, he really smokes, can't believe it. You know, it's like I've got a Cockney stepkid. It's like it's really unusual for those teenagers to smoke now. So I think personally, smoking would be more influenced by your friends and your peers as opposed to what you see on the screen. I really do. I think it's slightly dramatic. Then again, there is evidence, so...
Yeah, there's 73% more likely to try
I don't agree with you, Sally, because I hate smoking so much. I really think the less we can see it on screen, we don't want to see anybody smoking. I don't want anyone to smoke at all in any film or on any TV thing ever.
Then you have to ban it completely.
Well, I can't see what's wrong in it because I feel very, very strongly about it. Both my parents smoked and my sister smoked and she died of lung cancer in the end, so I feel that's where I'm coming from. I hear what you're saying, that kids now say, oh, no, look, you know, it's funny they smoke. And I remember when I was about 13 or 14, we tried smoking and we tried drinking, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we tried smoking, we puffed on that faggot. It's horrible. Then you tried your first slug of scotch. You take, it's disgusting. Or cooking sherry in my case.
Nothing changes.
That's disgusting. Which of these two disgusting things am I going to go
Am I going to pursue?
Yeah. So I went with the drinking, obviously, and not the smoking. I am really militant. I feel really strongly that cigarette smoking should not be glamorised in any way, shape or form.
I don't agree with Janet. I don't think children are that idiotic. I mean, when I was 15, I went to see Lady Sings the Blues. I didn't come out of the cinema and think, right, I've got to get myself some smack. Smoking is not very fashionable anymore. It really isn't. Back in my day, I mean, we're all slightly different generations. I'm between you two.
All right, Jenny, I'm the oldest. Yes, OK.
And cigarettes were so cheap in your day. God, I wish I'd been around. They are far too expensive now. They genuinely are.
Kids still smoke.
Not as many.
I don't care. For every teenager that starts smoking, I want to say, are you ridiculous? Do you know what your lungs look like? Do you want to go and visit people in hospital and see what it's like when they're dying in hospital with cancer?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't still smoke.
I mean, I've never smoked, apart from once when I was 6 and my sister, who was 16 at the time, I was 6, and she sat me down. She said it was to put me off, and she shoved a fag in my mouth, and I went, yeah, and ugh. And the smell of smoke, I just find revolting. And I've been like that all my life. And my kids are the same. What you were saying, you know, it was about your peers, your family, and all of that. My stepfather used to smoke. He's this mad Italian builder who I adored. Absolutely adored. He used to smoke like 60 a day. Gosh. And I go, Dad! And he'd go, what do you say? What do you say? I said, Dad, take your butts out of the rubber plant. Because there were always like cigarette butts and all of that kind of thing going on. But My kids, they would never smoke. I know they would never
But
smoke.
Carol, it's not
she's
about
off to
reaction.
university.
No,
She's
no.
off to... She
Oh,
might get
no.
nervous. She might, do you know what? Yeah. And she might start eating rubbish food and then she might think, oh, I'm getting a bit hippie. I know what will put me off my food.
Yeah.
I just have a little ciggy.
Never put me off
That's
the
the
ciggy.
biggest influence on teenagers now.
Yeah,
is
that's
seeing
true.
the supermodels and all the London
Yeah, they
Fashion
all
Week, all
do
those...
this, don't they?
You're
They're
chuffing
all
away.
They
all
are.
look
The
beautiful.
times I've been out to dinner and someone's brought a really beautiful model and then she can't eat anything, just shifts it around a plate and goes and stands in the street and has a cigarette. It's disgusting. But going back to you two saying, oh, well, you know, teenagers don't smoke because it's not fashionable. The fact of the matter is, it's not about whether it's fashionable or not fashionable, or whether your parents did or you didn't. I think it's whether you're an addict.
Right.
Because both my parents smoked, and then my father had a heart attack and my mother couldn't get the cigarette out of her mouth long enough to go in the hospital and visit him, and I was the go-between. I mean, it's like a black comedy, me in, out, telling how's Dad feeling, you know. Anyway, after the heart
And that was just
attack...
because she was smoking all the time.
She was smoking all the time, couldn't, you know, attached to the fag. Anyway, after his heart attack, he stopped smoking. Eventually, my mother stopped. My sister, obviously, was very like my mother. She just could not stop smoking. She tried and tried, and
I've got
even
the
on her
addict gene.
deathbed, she's smoking.
I've got an addict gene.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm really fortunate to have been able to give up smoking because there was a point where I really thought I'd rather be dead than not be able to smoke.
How long did you
Yeah,
smoke
I mean,
for, then,
I couldn't perceive myself not being a smoker. I just and then when the smoking ban came in, I thought, well, they can't mean me. You know, they must mean everybody else, not me. And I'm so grateful to have given up, and I'm so glad to be off the hook of it because genuinely, if I can give up smoking, anybody
Why
can
did you give up?
smoking.
Were you scared or...?
Suddenly scared of my mortality,
Right.
yes. I mean, I think...
And how long had you been doing it for?
Please, oh, I don't want to go there. It'll make me weepy. Look, a long
She's
time.
going-
She's on the edge today anyway.
Oh, no, let's
A
not
long
tip her over
time,
the brink.
Carol. A long time. But I've stopped. I stopped 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Not that you're counting the days.
Well done.
Yes! And that's why I'm so fat.
Jenny, you're not fat, and I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
are very
Janet.
proud of you, Jenny. Very proud indeed. Now,